Hail Mary, come with me, Mary. Come with me, Mary. La da 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 da. That's right. Come with me, Mary. Hail Mary. What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Blue Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. It doesn't work without you guys. Cowboys finished up practice today. We talking about practice, not a game, not the game that we love. We're talking about practice, and the Cowboys are done for the day with the Chargers. Tomorrow will be a light day, walkthrough day, and then come Saturday, we'll have the preseason game. And as you just saw in that clip there, what a way to end practice with a Hail Mary. Oh my goodness. Houston has come a long ways at making a name for himself. Somebody that at the beginning of training camp, we knew nothing about, didn't know his name, didn't know his number, and talked about this is one of those guys that like, who? Who? That's right, who? Houston Hugh. Now, don't get it twisted now. Don't think that one play in training camp is going to be the be-all and so forth of making the team and becoming a starter and stuff. Because if that was the case, we would already had Vasher as immediate starter for the Cowboys. And we still have some work to do on that situation. Me, I am doing some work here, okay? Doing some work because, see, here's the thing that you got to remember in life. You constantly have to evolve, okay? If you do the same thing that you did before over and over again, eventually it's going to get old. People are going to get tired of it, or people are going to figure out what you've done and do what you did even better and leave you behind. That is a truth. That is a fact. There are so many Fortune 500 companies that we thought were never going to go anywhere, and unfortunately, they didn't evolve and change, and they're no longer with us. They're done. So I'm working on making this actually better out here. So what I'm doing is I have DirecTV, Sunday Ticket. Now here's the thing, I'm cheap. I'm cheap. The cable box costs you like $15 a month, and the thing about it is I only use it for 17 weeks of the season. That's it. I didn't watch DirecTV all last year, after the season, because I have Verizon. Verizon, of course, has my internet. My internet speed is crazy how fast it is. Literally, I can take a 20-minute video and literally in like 5 seconds it's uploaded. I'm not messing with that. I wanted the Sunday Ticket, and this will be the last year that I have the Sunday Ticket and having the two of them. So what I have is hooked up to the TV here. I have the Verizon box and all that, and the DirecTV, and there's 1 and 2. But instead of getting extra boxes for the inside, I actually have a splitter out here, so that way I can split it to go inside with the DirecTV along with the Verizon. And what I found out last year, because I've got another 65-inch TV for the crowd here and then a 32 up high, is I need to be able to switch it because, people didn't really want to see the Cowboys or the Washington game on a small TV when they were here. So I want to be able to flip the broadcast. So I'm putting in a series of splitters and things like that to make it better. Because I can't just rest on what I did last year. I have to improve. And this brings me to the Dallas Cowboys. This brings me to them. Here's my thought on the Cowboys, okay? We have Kellen Moore, Boise State guy. Boise State who loves to throw the football, okay? They really got away from doing the running game. You've heard so much that Zeke Elliott has, he's lost it, needs to be benched. It's not so much Zeke Elliott. He has slowed down some, but he hasn't slowed down to the point where you say he needs to just retire. A lot of what we did was because of the way we ran the offense. And I want you to think back to 2016. 2016, we were 13-3. And it seemed like the Cowboys offense was clicking. You had Dak Prescott, Mr. Dink and Dunker. You had Zeke Elliott that was able to run the football. But what happened in that offseason was teams analyzed what we were doing. And they realized if we can stop Zeke Elliott and force Dak to beat us, we'll have a better chance. And I will remember the Denver Broncos game like it was yesterday. Because in that game, it was on, not Hard Knocks, it was the other show, All In or whatever it was that was on Amazon. I remember the Cowboy coaches being mystified because it was like, they're stopping the run. What do we do? And they seemed completely lost because they hadn't planned on changing anything. And teams figured out what we were doing in 2017. And here's the kicker. So, you have Kellen Moore, Mr. Boise State. I love the deep pass. We love throwing the football, right? Yeah. They got rid of Amari Cooper because I think that they are evolving the offense. And what they're trying to do is they're trying to get more balance. If you're trying to get more balance, then what you have to do is you have to focus in on being able to run the football. I know people will say, yeah, because Dak Prescott, he needs a running game. Yeah, well, most quarterbacks do. When I go back and I analyze the 49ers game and the 49ers with Jimmy Garoppolo, who only threw 180 yards, and they beat us, it was because they were balanced. With that 180 yards was 169 yards running the football. They controlled the clock. And here's where the Cowboys can be like the Seattle Seahawks back when they were winning Super Bowls. It wasn't Russell Wilson's arm that was doing it. It was a great team around him. Russell Wilson is far and away better quarterback now than he was then. But the thing is they were a better team back then too. They had a defense that could stop the opposition and prevent them from running the football. They had a team that would get the takeaways and would give the offense short fields and more opportunities. It was beast mode rushing for about 1,200 yards. And I can look at, and this is where all the pieces are coming together. I can look back at Tony Romo's most yards in a season, and it was 2013, I believe it was, 4,903 yards. Dak was 1 yard short of that, 1 yard short of it. But in that season, he only threw about 28 TDs and had 19 interceptions. Enter 2014. You had DeMarco Murray, beast mode, 1,800 yards running. Tony Romo, 3,700 yards passing, 1,200 yards less than his best season, but had the most touchdown passes, 36, of his career, with only 9 interceptions. Because you made teams balance and have to spread and cover the whole field, it made it easier for the quarterback. It was able to go ahead and take time off the clock. It was able to score lots of points. And I believe that that is actually the plan with Kellen Moore, or at least I'm hoping and praying that it is. That's why you draft a Jake Ferguson to get another tight end. That's why you bring Dalton Schultz back as opposed to Amari Cooper. Most people would say, bring back Amari Cooper and let Dalton Schultz go. Yeah, well, that'll work if you're going to go 3 wide outs. But I think this team is going to be more ball control and more centric. And this is where you cannot rely on what you did last year. You must tweak and evolve what you're doing in order to stay relevant. And the Cowboys, too many times in the past, have had a successful season, and they've stayed pat with what they're doing. And see, this is where on both sides of the field, where we ended up with the end of practice there, an interception for the Cowboys as well. They're not sitting back on what they did last year on defense. They're trying to evolve and expand it even more. So instead of saying, Micah Parsons, you're going to be a defensive end and a linebacker, we are going to be using you all over the place. And it's not enough to just say we got Micah Parsons and so forth there. That they're trying to add a couple of pieces, and Anthony Barr, to be able to say he can also come off of the edge as well. That we're going to be able to put more pressure on teams and cause them into mistakes that can lead into points for us. And see, that's what I'm talking about when I say you must evolve, or else you will be a dinosaur that will fall by the wayside. Somebody pointed out when I did an earlier live stream, because I thought that they were going to cover some of the Cowboys practice today. They said that I haven't been talking about the fact that nobody has repeated in the NFC East since 2003-2004 season. I want to honestly say that back in about 2015 and 2016, I started talking about that. I honestly did. I used to go through the numbers of what happens to teams that win the division. In fact, no team that has won the division in recent history has won more games the next year. In fact, on average, the last time I checked, the team that wins the division drops back by 3 games on average. Yeah, I mean, if you go by the statistics. So if you're going purely by the statistics, yeah, the Dallas Cowboys should not repeat. It's true. It's a hard thing to do. But the funny thing about history is until it happens, it's never happened before. You could go back and say that the Eagles, for 50 years, well, they've never won a Super Bowl, so they'll never win one. But then they finally did, and they changed the narrative on that. Now, it might be another 50 years before they win another one, but you have to start someplace. And I believe when I look at this team, because for all the people that say that the Cowboys offense has taken a step back, and maybe they have, but I think that they're actually going to evolve, and they're going to be a better team running the football than last year. Because the second half of the year, when the Cowboys were actually one of the best running teams to begin the season, and you can look at that offense, the reason why we finished up in first in those categories was the first half of the season. That the Cowboys will be better running the football this year than they were passing it. And I dare say that Dak Prescott will be better passing the football this year than he was last year because of where his body is. And I look at it and say that my defense should be even better. For once, we actually have a defensive front that is going to be scary. I'm telling you this now. The Dallas Cowboys defense may be the leading group. That front seven will be nasty. I know people are talking about the Eagles and thinking that they're the ones. I'm telling you, do not sleep on that Dallas Cowboys defensive front. So, the statement here is, change is good. Change is good. All right, good people. I got some more work to do in here to get this stuff put back together. But again, I'm working for you guys. Come Saturday night, I'll probably be out here live streaming at 10 o'clock at night. Peace.